sophomores who are in uniform for Marshfield as well today. A lot of guys getting some experience. They're just coming down here and walking around.
The Tigers trail 41-31. Ready will get a
sophomores who are in uniform for Marshfield as well today. A lot of guys getting some experience. They're just coming down here and walking around, playing on this field, and they're hoping the next year or two they'll be playing in a state championship game as well. Well, it's time to play football. Marshfield and Homestead meeting in the Division I state championship contest, and the Tigers will get the ball first to begin play. Andy Renicky is kicking off for Homestead.
Thank goodness, Gene. Enough of the pregame and the fooling around. Let's do something here.
Yep, the hype is over, so now it's time to play football. Tigers have Matt Gorman and Mike Drock back in deep safety. Inside the 5-yard line, here's the kick by Renicky. It's a high end-over-end kick and a deep kick to Drock on the 1-yard line. And he exchanges with Gorman. Matt looking for a hole, crosses the 15, and is spun down around the 18-yard line.
Interesting pregame. The Mequon team had their field goal and extra point team, entire team out on the field going through some practice. Looks like they have a pretty nice kicker.
Well, Renicky does have 9 field goals this year. That's something to keep in mind as this game progresses. Right now, the Marshfield Tigers have the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. Quarterback by Tyson Bittrick, Mario Correan, and Aaron Scheuer in the eye behind him.
We worry about this first snap and get the jitters out of the way here.
Homestead with 4 down linemen. And the first play from scrimmage goes to Scheuer. Off tackle, not much there. He'll be stopped near the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a yard on that carry. Not much there for Aaron Scheuer. Tigers won the toss and elected to receive the football. Quite often this year, they have elected to defer to the second half, but they took the football to start the ball game today.
I think you want to keep the ball out of the hands of that fine running back from Mequon right away and not let him be an early factor in this game.
2nd and 10, Marshfield at their own 18. Zaleski wide out on the near side. Jason Beekler split end on the far side. I formation. Here's Scheuer again, straight ahead to the 20 and stopped right there. Takes a hard hit from linebacker Ben Huffman, and Scheuer gains 2 on that carry.
Huffman is one of the captains on this Mequon team, 6'1", 220-pound senior. They're experienced people they have put in the center of that defense on this team with a very young offensive unit.
Tiger offensive line. Left tackle is Adam Stenovich. Left guard is Dominic Pernsteiner. The center, Sean Molterer. The right guard, Travis Foth. Right tackle is Dan Nordine. 3rd and 8, Marshfield at their own 20-yard line. Split backfield. Wideouts on either side. Bittrick back to pass the football. Throws near side, and Molterer falling down. Lost the ball at the 30-yard line. He slipped as the ball came to him, and the pass falls incomplete.
Slipped as his feet hit that some of the numbers out there. And of course, the Tigers having to get used to this field. I noticed Tyson Bittrick in pregame was slipping and sliding quite a bit, wearing tennis shoes out there. So that may be a factor in this game. We'll have to watch that footing.
Now 3 and out for the Tigers as they begin play. It's 4th and 8, and Jason Beekler will punt the ball away. Gets a good snap, and he lofts one down the center of the field. Demetrius Johnson back on the 40-yard line. Evades one tackler, gets outside, turns the corner at the 45, and is running out of bounds inside midfield.
Oh, that's a scary young man, scary fast, and you can see the moves out there. So we want to try to keep that ball a lot longer on offense and keep it out of his hands.
And very good field position for Homestead. They'll start their first series of the day at the Marshfield 48-yard line. We're just underway here at Camp Randall Stadium in this Division I championship contest. We have a timeout on the field. Our score, Marshfield nothing and Homestead nothing, with 10:25 remaining in the first period. While we have a moment, let's pause for this message. Well, we'll see the Highlanders from Homestead High School on offense first today, or for the first time today. They're quarterbacked by senior Andy Renicky, who has thrown for just 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. The main man is the senior running back, Demetrius Johnson, 1,929 yards and 29 touchdowns this year. He gets the ball on first down and carries across the 45 to about the 42. Stopped there by several Tigers. Bobby Pohl, Ben Will, Adam Stenovich combine on that stop at the 42-yard line. A gain of 6 for Johnson.
One line came off the ball there very well on that play, and a 6-yard gain on first down. That's going to make play calling a lot easier for Mequon.
2nd and 4 for the Highlanders at the Marshfield 42. Wideouts on both sides, 2 tight ends. Johnson, the only setback, gets the carry again, tries to get outside, and Immerfall throws him out of bounds with help from Matt Gorman just inside the 40, about a yard short of the first down marker.
And I like the pursuit there and the fact that, coaches talk about running backs running downhill, and what that means is basically once they turn the corner, get their shoulders square, and start heading up the field. That's like running down a big hill where you can really get your momentum going. And as long as we can get him going sideline to sideline, we'll be fine.
3rd and short, and Homestead goes to a full house formation with 2 tight ends. It's Johnson again off tackle and stopped near the first down marker by Matt Immerfall. Johnson tried to slide outside. Immerfall was there to corral him right on the 38-yard line. So we'll see what kind of spot Homestead gets here. They're very close to the first down, and we may have a measurement.
We've seen throughout the tournament here so far, Gene, in the various divisions, that defensive teams, it takes a while for them to get adjusted to the style of play that they see. And, of course, the Tigers had to be pretty conservative with getting the ball at their own 15-yard line, and Homestead a little more fortunate with field position here.
That is a first down for Homestead with 9:45 remaining in the first quarter and no score. The other running backs in the backfield for Homestead, quite normally we'll see Jarrett Werner Powell. He's a big senior, and he lines up as a flanker on the far side. On first down, Johnson again trying to get outside, hit by Stenovich and pulled down after a very short gain. Nate Lehman and Ben Will and Ryan Niehaus also helping on that stop. A gain of just 1 for Johnson.
Well, that could be a key matchup in this ball game. Stenovich, who I think is one of the finest offensive linemen you're going to find in the state of Wisconsin, linemen, period, offensive and defensive linemen, and I'll be watching that matchup a little closer.
And once again, Johnson, the only running back, 2 tight ends and 2 flankers, 2nd and 9 from the 37. Johnson again straight ahead, collared again by Stenovich and pulled down after a short gain. Got help again from Immerfall and Will and Pete Turney also assisting on that tackle. A gain of 1. The ball's on the 36-yard line.
Nate Lehman also doing a nice job anchoring that nose guard spot, which made it possible for the blockers to be stopped up there.
Tiger defensive line. Nate Lehman is the nose man. The tackles are Adam Stenovich and Ryan Foth, and the ends are Ben Will and Pete Turney. John Hintz wide to the near side. Jarrett Werner Powell, flanker on the far side on 3rd and 8. Renicky running the option, pitching back to Johnson. He stops, has no place to go, now falls forward and gets all the way down to about the 30-yard line.
Well, you talk about people that can cut on a dime. I don't know, he may be able to cut on half that, but boy, that was quite a cut and good decision on his part to head it up the field.
He brings the ball just inside the 30-yard line. It's 4th and about a yard and a half for Homestead, just shy of the Marshfield 29-yard line.
One of the things teams have to be careful of with this kind of a running back is the cutback ability. You've got to stay in your lanes and keep your shoulders square.
Especially on this kind of turf. Homestead goes back into a full house formation. Fans on both sides are standing. And Renicky gives to Johnson again, bouncing outside. He'll have the first down and more. He's in the clear. Johnson at the 10, the 5, and he'll go in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, we haven't seen this kind of speed. That halfback from Middleton was pretty tough, but not this kind of experience. So we'll have to see how the Tigers react to having first blood drawn on them.
7-play, 48-yard touchdown drive for Homestead, and they take a 6-0 lead with 7:38 remaining in the first period. Renicky comes on to attempt the PAT. Ball is down, the kick is away, blocked by Mike Drock. Mike Drock flies in there, gets the block, and that negates the PAT effort. But 7:38 remaining in the first quarter, and Homestead leads Marshfield 6-0. Back with more football in just a moment. Homestead draws the first points today. They lead 6-0, scoring on their first possession of the day on that 29-yard touchdown run by Demetrius Johnson.
Johnson doing just a very nice job of bouncing the ball outside. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Marshfield kind of jamming inside, and he popped outside, and no one out there for contain, and away he went.
So Andy Renicky set to kick off for Homestead once again, with Mike Drock and Matt Gorman back in deep safety for the Tigers. And the kick by Renicky. Another long end-over-end kick into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. The Tigers will take the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Automatic touchback in high school football.
Well, field position has been a problem so far for the Tigers.
Well, they need to get that first down and get some confidence going, or they need more yardage on first down here also. We saw Mequon with 6 yards on their first down play, and Marshfield unable to get on track so far.
Tigers line up, 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 20. Coran and Scheuer in the eye behind Jason Petrie. 4 down lineman for Homestead. The give to Scheuer, looking for a hole, cut down behind the line. He'll lose one on that play. Good penetration by the Homestead defensive line, led by left end Kevin Wright.
Some teams will try to defend that counter, Gene, by chasing an outside linebacker or a defensive end as soon as they see that guard and tackle pull and try and pull it down from behind, and that time Mequon's successful with that technique.
Now 2nd and 11 for the Tigers at their own 19. Beekler and Zaleski, the wide receivers on either side. I formation. Vittrick at quarterback. Tyson hands to Scheuer again. Hit behind the line. Goes down for another loss. Linebacker Victor Meckstrom comes in there and hits Scheuer back at the 17-yard line. He loses 2 more.
Yeah, blitz, and he slid past the guard and got behind that guard's backside, in on the play.
So now the Tigers faced with 3rd and 13 at their own 17-yard line. Tigers offense off to a slow start today. Here's Molter to the near side. Franzine is the flanker on the far side. The Tigers in the eye with Petrie playing quarterback. Jason fakes the handoff, drops the pass, and throws across the middle. The ball's caught by Kyle Davis, who goes down on the 27-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down.
Short of the first down, but it's the first positive play the Tigers have had on offense, and you hope that pays some dividends a little further down the line.
10-yard gain, Kyle Davis's 9th catch of the year, but once again, the Tigers have to punt the football away. It's 4th and 3, and Jason Beekler on to kick to that dangerous Demetrius Johnson. Good snap to Jason. The rush is on. He gets a very high kick away. Johnson calling for a fair catch. He'll let this ball roll, however, and it rolls inside the 30-yard line to the 25-yard line and down right there at the 25, just inside the 25.
Oh, a little better break there for the Tigers with a good roll, and at least they don't have to only go 45 or 50 yards for the score here. If they're going to get that score, they're going to have to work for it.
Big punt there by Jason Beekler, a 48-yarder. We have a timeout on the field with 5:47 remaining in the first quarter, and Marshfield trailing Homestead 6-0. Back to Camp Randall Stadium right after this.
After immediate timeout.
Earlier today in the Division II state championship, Menominee beat Brookfield Central 19-8. Now it's the Division I final between the Marshfield Tigers and Homestead, and Marshfield trailing early 6-0. Looks like, Dan, we may have some wet weather out there at this hour.
Well, there's a prediction for rain today, and it looks like it's finally started to settle in here a little bit.
So it was a great morning, very balmy, mild conditions, but the temperatures have cooled off, and now we have some wet weather as well. 1st and 10 Homestead at their own 25-yard line. The give to Demetrius Johnson, off tackle for a couple of yards. Ben Will stands him up with some help from other Tigers. Ryan Foth is there as well, and Johnson gets a short gain. Mike Drock helping out on that tackle as well. At the 27-yard line, Johnson gets 2 on that run. 2nd and 8 for Homestead at their own 27-yard line.
Brings up a 2nd and 8.
One of the fears you have is you concentrate so much on this Johnson that maybe we get a little sleepy in the secondary on a pass.
2 tight ends and a full house backfield. And Renicky rolling out on the far side, looking to throw the ball. Now he'll keep it, and Stroik runs him down from behind at the 30-yard line.
Good job by Pete Turney and also Matt Gorman of getting out there and trying to spring out that play. Didn't really turn it in, but if you can stay with your shoulders square like that and just run that guy to the sidelines, eventually help arrives.
So Homestead now looking at 3rd and 5 at their own 30-yard line. The Tigers want to make a defensive stop right here and get the ball back. Johnson, the only running back behind Renicky. Wide receivers, Hintz and Werner Powell on both sides. Renicky looks to pass the ball, throws to the far side, and completes the pass for the first down just across the 35-yard line. Caught by Jarrett Werner Powell, and that is a first down for Homestead at their own 36-yard line, gain of 6 on the play.
Just a little hitch pattern by that. I mean, receiver just goes down past the sticks and turns around, shows his numbers to the quarterback.
1st and 10 Homestead at their own 36, 4:25 remaining in the first quarter, and Homestead leading 6-0. Full house formation, and here is the handoff to the fullback. That's Werner Powell again up to midfield.
It's a quick hitter right up the center of the line and going on a quick count, catching the defensive line and linebackers a little unprepared.
He picks up 14 yards on that run, and now Homestead has the football at the 50-yard line. And the Homestead Highlanders moving the ball effectively against the Marshfield Tigers in the first quarter of today's game. 1st and 10 for Homestead at the 50. We have an official's timeout. And apparently a helmet problem for Adam Stroik. So that will be taken care of. We will update you on the high school football playoffs and talk more sports on our On Sports program tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on WDLB.
Well, as we've seen in the playoffs and the other games we've seen here so far, Gene, that team that gets out to that quick 14-0 or 12-0 lead has that emotion going for them here and has the other team back on their heels.
Homestead with a full house formation. Renicky gives to Johnson again. Grabbed by Stinovich and Immerfall. He'll only gain 1 on that run off the right side.
Yeah, a lot better play on first down. It makes things a lot easier defensively in terms of trying to make calls.
1 yard for Johnson. He's carried the ball on virtually every play so far for Homestead today.
51 yards and 8 carries. Of course, he's averaging over 7 yards per carry, 1,920-some yards coming into the season.
29 touchdowns and now 30 with his touchdown run earlier. Stroik still having a problem with his helmet, so he comes out, and Jeremy Meisner runs in to play linebacker for the Tigers. 2nd and about 9.5 for Homestead, just inside the 50-yard line. Tight ends are Chris Ropsky and Jeff McLean for Homestead. Full house formation once again. Renicky gives straight ahead again to Werner Powell, the fullback, and down to about the 41-yard line, a gain of 9, and Homestead close to another first down.
That's that situation again where you're keying so much on that fine tailback, that halfback, that Werner Powell gets through there before you even see him.
And he has rushed for close to 800 yards this season. So here's a guy who's also a tough runner. He has 8 rushing touchdowns for Homestead this year. 3rd and 1 for Homestead at the Marshfield 41. Full house formation again. Johnson gets the carry, has the first down off the right side, decked by Immerfall at the 38-yard line, but that is enough for a first down for Homestead. And Homestead also with some nice ball control. They had a 7-play drive to start the ball game, and coming up will be the 8th play for the Highlanders in this drive.
Well, the tough choices defensively, Gene, is when do you decide to try to blitz when the team is running against you? Because if you do blitz and you miss and they get outside, they're gone.
1st and 10 Homestead at the Marshfield 38. Hand off to Johnson again, looking for a hole, trying to get outside, but run down by Niehaus. And Johnson carries Niehaus inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. He'll gain 4 anyway. Johnson with 4 more, setting up a 2nd and 6 for Homestead at the Tiger 34-yard line. Homestead leading 6-0. We have 2:15 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, with Marshfield only having run 5 or 6 plays offensively so far.
That's right. It was 3 and out their first 2 possessions. 2nd and 6 for Homestead. Full house formation. Renicky to Johnson. A nice gap off tackle, but it's Stop by Adam Stenovich. He plugs that hole and knocks down Johnson at the 32-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 4 for Homestead.
Actually, Stenovich blocked on the play, but did a great job of spinning off that block and ended up right in the running path.
So the Tigers looking to make a stand right here. They'll make some changes as Foth comes out, and the Tigers may go to a different defensive look. 3rd and about 4 for Homestead at the Marshfield 32-yard line. Slot on the far side. Renicky back to pass. He pump fakes. He throws deep down the far sideline for Horopsky. It's knocked down. A great play by Gorman, who reached that hand out and knocked the ball away from the Homestead receiver.
Well, we're going to find out whether this is 4-down territory or not for Homestead. I would almost think it would be.
It's 4th and 4 for the Highlanders at the Marshfield 32-yard line. Keep in mind that their kicker, Andy Renicky, has 9 field goals this year. But even this would be a long-range field goal, about 49 yards with a swirling wind. It appears that the Highlanders will go for it on 4th and 4 at the Marshfield 32. Werner Powell out wide to the far side, and John Hintz wide near side. Johnson, the only setback, gets the handoff straight ahead. Stopped near the first down marker. He was pulled down inside the 29. I think he has to get to the 28 for the first down, so he may be short. Adam Strike, a tackler on that play. And Jesse Cordes in there as well.
Yeah, he's short by, he's going to be short by about a half a yard, I think.
All right, that's the official word from Dale Yakaites. We'll see. Tigers hoping to get the football back and end an 11-play drive. Chains are out.
My was they gave him a better mark than I thought they were going to.
But still not good enough. The Tigers hold. It's first down, Marshfield. Tiger defense holds, and the Tigers take over on their own 28-yard line. We have 1:17 remaining in the first period, and Marshfield trails Homestead 6-0 in this Division I state championship contest.
Marshfield needs to find a play to hang its hat on, something, a fullback trap, a lead play, something to get their offense started they can work off of.
Tigers do not have a first down yet. They're running from the I set here. Scheuer gives to Curran straight ahead for short yardage. Murray will stop shy of the 30-yard line. He picks up only 1 on that carry.
Defensive tackles right now from Mequon Homestead doing a nice job that time defeating the trap block.
Those defensive tackles, a couple of big guys. Micah Littow, 6'6", 220. Andrew Scott, 5'10", 233. Both are seniors.
Our offensive line a little tentative right now, just not coming off the ball.
Tigers go into a slot I on 2nd and 9 from their own 29. Petrie throwing near side and over everybody's head, incomplete. I'm not sure where that ball was because Zaleski and Beekler both in the same general area, and Petrie threw the ball over the heads of both.
And Jason coming over right now and talking to Zaleski. I wonder if Pat maybe even tipped that ball a little bit. The two of them talking this over.
Tigers again in a 3rd and long situation. 3rd and 9 for Marshfield, just shy of the Homestead 30. Bittrick at quarterback, Franzine and Molterer wide outs on the near side, I formation. Tyson Bittrick dropping back to pass, being rushed, throws across the middle, intercepted, picked off by Huffman, comes down the near side of the 25, and bounced to the bounds right there.
Tyson looking at his receiver all the way down, and then his back foot slipped out from underneath him a little bit, just like we saw in pregame, and that ball sailed. It just didn't have anything on it.
Tyson Bittrick throws an interception, just his 4th of the year, but a great spot for Homestead. They'll have the football back inside the Marshfield 24-yard line. Tigers already trail this contest 6-0 with 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And that Homestead offense back on the field, they may be confused or they may have an equipment problem. That's the cause. They don't come out of their huddle right away, and that's because one of their players has an equipment problem. And that's the big tight end, Chris Froksky. So Homestead in a scoring situation here. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders, just inside the Marshfield 24.
You need a play for a loss, a big first down stop here.
Homestead in a full house set. The handoff to another back in the backfield for short yardage. That's a new man in the ball game for Homestead. That's Matt Hunt, who goes off tackle for about 2 yards down to the 21-yard line. a little used ball player. 2nd and 7 for Homestead at the Marshfield 21-yard line. Clock is running down. We have 10 seconds in the period. It looks like the Highlanders will allow the clock to expire. After one quarter here at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, it's Homestead 6 and the Marshfield Tigers nothing. Back with second quarter action in just a moment.
To the goal crease, but Bruce goes chasing, takes a hit from Larson, but leaves for Wentworth. He goes down, and Larson takes the puck away behind the net. Off the boards, but right.
Real slow start for the Marshfield Tigers in this state final. They trail Homestead 6-0 as we start the second quarter. Homestead has the ball just inside Marshfield's 21-yard line. It's 2nd and 7 for the Highlanders. Tigers do not go ahead down.
First down defense has been pretty good last couple of series. This is the down here. Second down, they've been getting 5 or 6 and giving them 3rd and short.
Homestead in a full house set. The handoff to Werner Powell straight ahead. He'll be dropped for a loss. He got back to the line, but no further. He butted heads with somebody in that defensive line, and Ben Will and I think Sean Gassacil combine on that hit right at the 20-yard line, a gain of no more than a half yard on that play. So here's a 3rd and 7 for Homestead at the Marshfield 20-yard line.
Pass defense is only good as your pass rush. We need to put some pressure on this guy.
Now we'll see if Renicky throws here. Tight formation. Kropsky is split to the near side. Split backfield. Renicky hands the ball off to Werner Powell, off tackle for about 2. The Tigers apparently very well schooled that this was not necessarily a passing situation. Several Tigers in on that stop, especially Ryan Foth at the 18-yard line. That sets up a 4th and about 4 for Homestead. So again, a 4th down play for the Highlanders. 4th and 4 at the Tiger 18, and Marshfield needs a stop. Demetrius Johnson, he's dangerous, wide near side. Gorman defensing him. Werner Powell, the only setback. Renicky back to pass, looking, throws far sideline, past everybody, incomplete. A strong rush by Stenovich and Bobby Powell, and the pass falls incomplete. The Tiger offense comes back on the field.
Stenovich got his hands up, which made the quarterback throw that ball, try to throw around him, and you can't see what those passing lanes look like unless you're down there on the field. But when you get a big guy like Stenovich with his hands up and he got up in the air on top of it, and that quarterback has to throw around it, that was a key.
And Renicky, not a real big guy, just 5'11". Well, the Tigers do not have a first down yet today. They want to get that offense moving. 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 18-yard line. Wideouts on either side, and Davis goes in motion. Petrie hands to Scheuer, off tackle, but again, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. This linebacker, Ben Huffman, makes the hit at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, very nice fill. We had him blocked at the line of scrimmage, but we just don't seem to be getting to the holes very quickly right now. We're a little tentative all the way around offensively.
2nd and 10 for Marshfield at the Marshfield 18. Tigers offense has not achieved a first down yet today. Zaleski and Beekler both to the near side. Coran and Scheuer in the eye behind Vittrick. And Tyson wants to throw near side. Beekler has it at the 25-yard line, but he stopped right there. Tigers picked up 7 on that pass play, and that sets up a 3rd and 3 for Marshfield. 7 yards on the game, and Jason Beekler makes his 22nd catch of the year. We're going to mark him back at the 24-yard line, so this is actually 3rd and 4 coming up for the Tigers.
Big potential confidence builder right here. Key play early in this game.
Multer and Franzine, the wide receivers. Coran and Scheuer in the eye behind Petrie. Jason fakes the handoff, rolling near side on the bootleg, and scampers out to about the 27-yard line. He had to elude an oncoming linebacker, Nate Colby. He did that. And Jason lucky to get himself out to the 27, but he'll still be, I think, about a yard short of the first down. And the Tiger punt team has to come back on the field. 4th and 1 Marshfield at their own 27. And Jason Beekler on to punt once again to Demetrius Johnson. Good snap. And the kick by Jason. A high kick, not real deep. Johnson at the 41 calls for a fair catch.
Johnson, the fair catch at his own 41-yard line.
Homestead football on their own 41 with 8:49 left in the second quarter, and Marshfield trailing 6-0. Timeout on the field. We'll come back in just a moment.
After immediate
Homestead High School, a tough opponent for the Marshfield Tigers today. Homestead leads 6-0 with 8:50 remaining in the second quarter. Homestead ball, and on first down, Jarrett Werner Powell gets the call off the left side for about 2 yards.
Good defensive play by Will and Nate Lehman coming down the line, and also Adam Stroik filling from his linebacker spot.
Well, we're seeing more and more, Dale, of Demetrius Johnson lining up as a receiver, and the ball going to somebody else in the offensive backfield.
No, they're going to find a lot of ways to get him the football, no doubt about it.
2nd and 8 for Homestead at their own 43. Johnson wide near side. Orman defensing him. Werner Powell, the only running back. Strike shows blitz. Renicky back to pass. Lobs deep down the near sideline for Horopsky. Defensed by Brock, and the ball thrown over the sideline anyway, incomplete.
Well defended. Brock with that inside position. The receiver is kind of fading towards the sidelines and lost track of where he was on the field. Of course, that ball thrown well out of bounds.
Horopsky, a pretty big guy, 6'5", 188, and for once, the opposition has the big size advantage over a Marshfield defender.
Well, that size advantage won't be a factor if the quarterback's on his hind end, so we
Or he
need
throws
to
the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, we put that pressure on him, yeah.
It's 3rd and 8 now for Homestead at their own 43. Johnson in the backfield, the only running back behind Renicky. And here's the option. He keeps the ball, carries across the 45, flag down, and Renicky dives inside the 50 to the 47-yard line, but we have a flag on this play. It is a holding call on Homestead. A big break for the Tigers, because otherwise Renicky would have that first down with that run. He ran that option very well.
Yes, he did. We've got a pretty good natural hole there on our right defensive side right now between tackle and our defensive end. We have to play kind of wide with those ends because of this potential outside speed of Johnson. And right now they're kind of getting inside of us into that bubble.
Well, the ball's coming back to the 35-yard line, and that will create a 3rd and 16 for Homestead. Tigers need to stop right here, get the ball back, get that offense going. The Tigers still looking for their first down in this contest.
We need a turnover, something to give us the ball down on this end so we can get our passing game going.
Johnson in the backfield, wide outs on either side on 3rd and 16. Renicky with a long count. He turns, and we have a whistle as play develops.
Flag thrown over here on this near sidelines, and procedure. Yep.
That is the call. Procedure on Homestead.
Of course, the Marshfield Tiger bench is on the press box side of Camp Randall Stadium. If you've ever been down here before, and the Tiger fans right down below us cheer their approval of that call.
And now the ball's back at the 30-yard line, 3rd and 21. And the Tigers certainly want to make a stand right here and not allow the big play for Homestead.
Don't have a lot to lose by Homestead here to put a guy like Brown or that other tall receiver to the outside and just throw it deep. And if it's picked off, it's picked off. No big deal here.
Bobsky wide to the far side. Johnson a split end on the near side. And back to pass, Renicky being rushed. Hit as he throws by Ben Will. The ball flutters incomplete. A big rush by Ben Will, who hit Renicky as he released the pass, and it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete.
That's exactly what they were going to try. They had Demetrius Brown running down this Marshfield sideline here, and they were just going to try to throw it up to him.
It's now a 4th down play, 4th and 21 for Homestead at their own 30-yard line. And the Homestead Highlanders have to punt. Renicky also punts. He's averaging 38 yards per kick, and he'll punt the ball away to Mike Drock. Good snap, and the kick is away. It's a line drive. Drock angling back at his own 30-yard line. Coming to the near side. Trying to get outside, turns the corner at the 35-yard line and skips out of bounds around the 39. There is a flag down behind the play, however.
Way over on the other hash mark, behind the play.
I think we're going to have a block in the back against a Tiger player. So that run, about a 9-yard run for Drock, will come back.
Field position with it again.
And the Tigers have been victimized by poor field position throughout the day. We have a clip against Marshfield. So Marshfield does have the football, but deep in their own territory.
Presumably on the return.
And we'll see where they spot the football. The point of the foul apparently the 35. So the ball goes back to the 20-yard line. First and 10 Tigers at their own 20-yard line. And we have timeout on the field. 7:11 remaining in the first half. Tigers trail 6-0. We'll return in just a moment.
After immediate timeout.
Ball the near side to Nilsson. Up by Cylinder to the red line.
Marshfield Tigers to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 Marshfield at their own 20-yard line. Split backfield. Bittrick back to pass the ball. With time, throws across the middle for Kyle Davis. Goes up in a crowd and the ball is intercepted. Taken away. Down the far sideline, the 40, 35, 30. The returner still on his feet. Cuts back against the grain to the 25-yard line. Corralled by Stenovich at the 20. Pulled down there. That's Tim Schatz, and we have a flag down as well on the tackle.
And we have a Marshfield player hurt at the 45-yard line.
Bittrick threw the ball into a crowd, and Davis had the ball taken away from him by Schatz.
On a face mask.
Schatz returning to the 20-yard line, and more yardage will be marked off against the Tigers on this pass interception, on this penalty. 2 turnovers suffered by the Tigers in this ball game. 2 pass interceptions by Homestead. And we have a Marshfield man down along the far sideline. We cannot tell from here who that player is. But when we resume play, the Tigers will have their backs against the wall. It will be probably first and 10, maybe first and goal for Homestead at the Tiger 10-yard line. The player being helped up right now.
It's Scheuer.
Yep, it is Aaron Scheuer. Tiger receiver Aaron Scheuer walking off the field slowly under his own power. 6:55 remaining in the first half, and Homestead leads Marshfield 6-0. And here's a great scoring chance for Homestead. They get the football at Marshfield's 10-yard line. Homestead already on top, 6-0. Tigers still looking for their first down in this contest. And now the Tiger defense really has its back against the wall. Homestead comes out. It is first and 10 just outside the 10. Full house set for Homestead. Renicky turns, gives to Werner Powell off tackle. He won't get much. Stood up by several Tigers at the 9-yard line. A gain of 1 on that play. Well, the Homestead Highlanders have not given the ball much in recent series to Johnson, but I'm sure we'll see him pretty soon. 2nd and 9 for Homestead at the Tiger 9. Homestead can get a first down here. Hintz and Werner Powell and Johnson line up in a full house formation behind Renicky. Renicky gives to Johnson off tackle, cuts back inside, spins away from tacklers, and dives down about the 3. He was hit about the 7, spun away, and gained 4 extra yards. And now 3rd and 3 for Homestead at the Tiger 3-yard line. Boy, we're halfway through the second quarter, and the Tigers still don't have a first down in this ball game. And Homestead right now threatening to take a 2-touchdown lead in this Division I state championship contest. 3rd and goal Homestead, or 3rd and 3 Homestead at the Tiger 3. Full house formation. Renicky straight ahead to Johnson. Met hard and going down at the line of scrimmage. Boy, a Tiger defender, I think that was Strike, filled that gap very, very aggressively. Got help from Immerfall, and Johnson pulled down after a gain of about a half a yard. Real strong defensive play right there by Adam Stroik. Well, the Homestead Ball Club may try the field goal here. Remember, Renicky does have 9 field goals this year, and this is a chip shot for him. They'll line this one up at the 10-yard line, a 20-yard field goal try. Ball is down, kick is away, kick is long enough, and the kick is good. A 20-yard field goal by Andy Renicky, his second field goal of this, or his 10th field goal, rather, of this season. 5:02 remaining in the second quarter. Homestead now leads Marshfield 9-0. We'll be back to Camp Randall Stadium following this message.
In the narrow zone.
Tigers now trail 9-0. 5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Dale, looks like the Tigers have another problem. Aaron Scheuer, now he is up. He was injured on the last Tiger offensive play. Aaron is now up and off the bench, but we're not sure we'll see him when the Tigers have the ball back.
He's over talking to Coach Gadel right now on the sidelines, but I don't see him with a helmet right now.
Now the Tigers victimized by poor field position throughout the day. They have not had a first down in this contest. They need a big play. We'll see if Marshfield gets one on this kick return. Andy Renicky kicking off to Matt Gorman and Mike Druck. Big Marshfield crowd is here at Camp Randall Stadium watching the state final. The Tigers now trailing 9-0 midway through the second quarter. Renicky is all set, and here is his kick. A long end-over-end kick. Druck back at the 4. He will fake the reverse. He comes near side of the 15-yard line. The 20 has an alley. 25 to the 30. Out to about the 32. Nice return from Mike Druck, and the Tigers put the ball in play from just inside their own 35-yard line. And we'll see who comes out to play tailback for Marshfield. It looks like it's going to be Ben Laws. And Aaron Scheuer is on the sideline. Tiger football at their own 34-yard line. 4:53 remaining in the second quarter. And Homestead leads Marshfield 9-0. Tigers in their I set. Curran and Laws behind Petrie. Ben Laws straight ahead across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Ben Laws this year has rushed for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have 72 yards and 2 scores against Appleton East in Marshfield's first playoff game. He's a 5'11", 170 junior, and some pressure on this young man as he replaces Aaron Scheuer, who is on the sidelines. 2nd and 7 Tigers at their own 37, slot I formation. Tyson Bittrick wants to pass with time, lobs near side and well over Beekler's head, incomplete.
Ball just sailed high, sailed out of bounds on him. Tyson seems to be having some trouble just getting his footwork down and getting himself set.
And here comes Aaron Scheuer back in the ballgame.
Now 3rd down.
3rd and 7 Tigers at their own 37. The Tigers have not had a first down yet today. We have 4:15 remaining in the second quarter. They go to a double slot formation. Curran the only setback. Jason Petrie at quarterback. Jason to pass the football. He lobs it to the far sideline. Moulter makes a diving catch, but he'll be about 3 yards short of the first down. He had to come back for the ball and made the diving catch at the 41-yard line. That's a gain of just 4 yards.
Good throw by Petrie, throwing all the way across the field on that out pattern, showing good arm strength, but again, just not enough to get that first down. Tigers forced to punt again.
Once again, 3 and out for the Tigers. It's 4th and 3 at their own 41, and Beekler punting to Demetrius Johnson. Good snap. And the kick by Jason. He hangs one up there. Johnson back at his own 21-yard line, has no place to go, and he's dropped immediately by Adam Stroik back at the 19.
A flag way back here, Gene.
Yep.
Late flag.
Late flag on the play. We'll see what that's all about. Near the line of scrimmage, but a bit upfield from there. Boy, the Tigers could certainly use a break. Let's see what this is. And the call may be against Homestead because the officials are discussing this with Adam Stroik.
If that call is before change of possession, that's going to give Marshfield the first down.
And that'll be the case. The Tigers will get the ball back and get their first down of this contest by the penalty route.
It's one of the unusual calls. Defensive holding on a punt situation.
How about that?
That's a pretty rare call. You see it in the passing game occasionally, but on a punt situation.
Well, the Tigers will take it. It's Marshfield football, 3:37 remaining before halftime, and the Tigers trail Homestead 9-0. And we'll see where Marshfield gets the football here. It looks like right around midfield. Ball has not been spotted as of yet. And mark it right at the Homestead 49-yard line. So a break the Tigers have been looking for. 1st and 10 Marshfield at the Homestead 49. High set, wide outs on both sides. Bittrick at quarterback. Tyson runs the ball himself, looking for a hole, carries down to about the 45 and smothered there. Bittrick on that little curl from under center.
Was Tyson one of the faster players on the team, gaining a lot of yardage, 92 yards, I believe, in that Chippewa Falls victory. A big factor was Tyson's running ability.
Well, the ball's right on the 45-yard line. Gain of 4 on that carry. 2nd and 6 Tigers at the Homestead 45. From the eye, Petrie at quarterback. Here's a pitch play. Scheuer getting outside, turns the corner, down the sideline of the 40. Knocked out of bounds right on the 40-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. Not the first time today the Tigers have hit that corner quickly enough to make some positive yardage.
First time they've run that play, too. Mequon has been very inside conscious. Maybe that will be the key. Maybe that will be the place that Marshfield hangs their hat offensively outside.
Now the Tigers looking at 3rd and less than 1, just short of the Homestead 40-yard line. 3 minutes left in the first half. Tigers down by 9.
Should be able to sneak this big bubble in the middle.
Oh, it sure is.
Center move the ball.
Bittrick will hand the ball off at Scheuer, and he lunges forward, gets outside down the near sideline. He could go. Aaron to the 15, the 10, the 5, and in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, I guess
last year we couldn't wait to get to this because Marshfield had so many empty nets for a short-handed goal. Well, the officials are now conversing. And Immerfall and Freisinger and DeBrew are talking with the officials. Luke Hone is in the penalty box for a 2-minute flashing call. And the officials...
The Marshfield Tigers finally on the scoreboard on the 40-yard touchdown run by Aaron Scheuer. For Aaron, that is his 24th rushing touchdown this year, the 38th in his Tiger football career. And we do have a personal foul, and they've apparently assessed the foul against Marshfield.
They pointed in the Mequon direction.
Yes, they sure did. But now they have the Tigers lined up at the 25-yard line for the kickoff. Yep. So, Homestead should get pretty good field position. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450, WDLB Marshfield. J.D. Crane is our producer with Dale Yakaites. I'm Gene DeLisio. 2:52 remaining in the second quarter, and Marshfield trails Homestead 9-7 in this Division I state championship game.
Boy, this penalty a big factor with only 3 minutes left here.
Travis Foth kicking off right to an up man at midfield, and he carries inside the 50 to about the 46-yard line. The ball grabbed by one of the linebackers, Victor Meckworth of Homestead, and he'll give Homestead the football at the Marshfield 46-yard line. So good field position for the Highlanders, who still own a 2-point lead.
What are we looking at for timeouts here, Gene? Or do you have an idea?
Each team has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Homestead lines up 1st and 10 at the Tiger 46. Full house formation, 2 tight ends. Renicky hands to Demetrius Johnson, gets outside, down the sideline, and he may go 20-yard line, the 15, the 10, and Johnson will score for Homestead. And just like that, Homestead gets those points back, a 46-yard touchdown run by Demetrius Johnson. Homestead leads 15-7.
They play very well blocked at the corner in the off-tackle area, playing that tight formation, that full house backfield, and Johnson down the sidelines, only one man to beat.
One play, 46-yard drive for the Highlanders, and Renicky will try to kick the PAT. Ball is down, here's the kick. It is away, has the distance, and the kick is good. Now 2:40 remaining before halftime, and Homestead leads Marshfield 16-7. Back with more football in just a moment.
With 59 seconds remaining in the Blue Jays power play.
Well, in a matter of seconds, Homestead gets their 9-point lead back on the 46-yard touchdown run by Demetrius Johnson. They now lead 16-7, 2:40 remaining before halftime. Renicky is kicking off. Here is his boot. He squibs it down the far sideline. Grabbed by a Tiger up now. I think that's Strike, who grabs the football and carries out to about the 38-yard line.
The kick looked like it almost hit one of the Marshfield upmen and ricocheted off.
I think it did.
It bounced off of Tim Zeppelin up in that front line.
Could be. Well, Marshfield has it at the 38-yard line, their own 38. 2:38 remaining before halftime. Tigers trail 16-7. Tigers do have all three timeouts still available. Petrie at quarterback, Curran and Scheuer in the I formation. Jason will turn, he fakes the handoff, comes near side, throws on the run, and a diving attempt by Kyle Davis, but he can't get there. It's incomplete at the 50-yard line. The linebacker, Nate Colby, providing the coverage for Homestead. Incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10 for Marshfield at their own 38-yard line. And Homestead has looked quite formidable so far in this ball game. Demetrius Johnson, an outstanding running back. Tigers will go to a double slot here. Scheuer and Franzine to the near side. Two other receivers, Beekler and Zaleski on the far side on 2nd and 10. Curran, the only running back. Pittrick will take off on the quarterback draw. 45-yard line to near midfield. Spun down there, but Pittrick will have the first down on that run.
Okay, clock will stop. If they move the chains, we've either got to get in the huddle and get a play called quickly or just get up to the line and call it at the line.
That's 13 yards on that run for Pittrick. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Homestead 49. 2:25 remaining. In the second quarter, the Tigers are trailing 16-7.
With an official's timeout.
Didn't matter much. The clock kept on running. Franzine wide to the near side. Molterer will serve as a flanker on the far side. I formation behind Jason Petrie. Petrie will pitch it to Scheuer. Coming near side. Big block by Curran. Aaron turns the corner but can't get outside. He's spun down around the 46. And Scheuer gains 3 on that run. Scheuer not able to really get to the corner and get turned upfield on that play.
Couldn't quite get his shoulders upfield.
2nd and 7 for Marshfield at the Homestead 46. 1:40 remaining before halftime. And the officials step in and stop action. And we may have a timeout here. We do. Timeout Homestead, their first of the first half. 1:36 left in the second quarter. And Marshfield trails Homestead 16-7. More football right after this message.
Turn on the near side. Dump it back behind the goaltender once again. The through back again.
Tigers trying to make something happen before halftime. They're down by 9 with 1:36 remaining in the second quarter.
Coach Gadel out there in that huddle right now on his knees and actually looking like he's drawing plays on the turf.
Tigers come out to the line of scrimmage. Ball just shy of the Homestead 45. Second and about 7. Slot near side and a split backfield behind Tyson Bittrick. Tyson back to pass the football. Looking across the middle, ball right past Beekler, and he was knocked down on the fly.
Yeah, not much doubt about that one. That time the Homestead defender definitely got there early, trying to go through the Tiger defender, and that was Brian Kent who got there early.
He's only a sophomore. 6'1", 157, one of 2 sophomores on the starting defensive unit for Homestead. So that's another break for the Tigers. Boy, they have been victimized by some inopportune Homestead penalties today.
Well, you know, even if the Tigers could get in field goal position here.
Well, the ball will be spotted just inside the 31-yard line. 15-yard penalty against Homestead. First and 10 Tigers at the Homestead 31. 92 seconds left in the second quarter. Tigers trail Homestead 16-7. Marshfield has 3 receivers on the far side. Petrie at quarterback. He wants to pass the ball. He pump fakes. He fires to the far sideline for Franzine. It's intercepted again. Picked off by Brian Kent. He comes up the field about the 18-yard line and stopped there.
Well, that ball just wobbled coming out of his hand and looked like the receiver broke off his route a little bit there, too, as that ball wobbled. And, well, another scoring chance for Marshfield goes out the window. Of course, the big thing here is with the explosive running back like Johnson, you don't give up another cheap score before halftime.
Well, the Tiger quarterbacks have thrown 3 interceptions here in the first half, 2 by Bittrick and 1 by Petrie. Homestead has the ball back on their own 18-yard line. And Renicky hands to Johnson, cuts up to the 25-yard line. A flag goes down. I think a Tiger may have grabbed Johnson's face mask on that play. Stenovich and Immerfall, the tacklers on that play.
Flag is down.
And we do have a face mask against Marshfield. Well, we've talked this year, Dale, about how the Tigers have avoided turning the ball over, losing possession of the football, but that's not happened today. 3 turnovers here in the first half.
They're going pretty deep on some of those throws. And Mequon playing the ball very well. Those safeties really playing the ball.
Well, the ball's now up to the 40-yard line. First and 10, Homestead from that point. 1:10 left in the second quarter. Homestead leads 16-7. And the Homestead players walking around like they thought time was still out, but now they get up to the line of scrimmage. Full house formation for Homestead. Renicky hands to Werner Powell straight ahead. And Immerfall and several other Tigers gang tackle him at the 44-yard line. Lehman and Stroik also in on that tackle. Second and 6 for Homestead at their own 44.
Going no huddle here.
42 seconds left before halftime. Homestead does have 2 timeouts remaining. And here's the handoff to Werner Powell again, straight ahead for about 3. Stopped by Ryan Foth and Ben Will at the 47. Third and 3, now with 25 seconds remaining before halftime. Renicky back to pass the ball, lobs it up near side for Johnson. He's out there, makes the catch at the 20-yard line, taken out of bounds by Gorman at the 18. First down for Homestead at the Tiger 18-yard line on the pass play to Demetrius Johnson. 35 yards on that play, and Homestead within scoring range once again. 16 seconds left in the second quarter. Tigers already down 16-7, and Homestead threatening yet another score. Grobsky and Hintz wide on the far side. Johnson wide out on the near side. And again, Renicky looks to pass. Lobs far side for Grobsky in the end zone. Drock goes up and knocks it down. Mike Drock playing Grobsky very well. Went up in front of that big receiver, knocked the ball down. It's incomplete.
Turned around and played the receiver, but turned around and found the football and was able to get up on the ball. Good defensive play.
Second and 10 for Homestead at the Marshfield 18-yard line. 11 seconds left in the second quarter. Homestead has 2 timeouts remaining in this first half. Johnson lines up as a running back. Wide outs on both sides. Renicky hands to Johnson, straight ahead, breaks some tackles. He's at the 10, at the 5, cut down at the 3-yard line with 6 seconds remaining. And now Homestead will take a timeout. Homestead timeout, their second of the first half. 6 seconds left in the second quarter, and Homestead leads Marshfield 16-7. Will return to Camp Randall Stadium following this message.
At the 3-yard line.
Killing the Tiger and Tigers can't.
Good trap.
Well, we'll see what Homestead wants to do here. They have a first and goal at the Marshfield 3 with 6 seconds remaining before halftime. Homestead leads 16-7. Renicky has kicked one field goal today. He has 10 for the season. We'll see if they go for the field goal right here or try one quick shot at the end zone. Looks like the Homestead Highlanders will line up and run a play. Renicky looking to pass in the end zone, fires on the slant to Hrobsky. He's got it for the touchdown. Quick slant pass across the middle to Hrobsky for the touchdown, and Homestead on the scoreboard again. Homestead with a 6-play, 82-yard scoring drive, and they now lead 22-7. Renicky will try the PAT. Ball is in the air, and the kick is away and good. 3 seconds remaining before halftime, and Homestead leads Marshfield 23-7. We'll return to Madison following this message.
Emerfall comes in the narrow end. He has
With a rolls for the Marshfield Tigers have to go to work here in the second half. They trail Homestead 23-7 at halftime of this Division I state championship contest, and Homestead will get the ball first to start the second half of action. Tigers need to get that defense going and make some stops, get the ball back, and then get the offense rolling as well.
Leading ball carrier in that first half for Homestead, Demetrius Johnson with the 137 yards and only 18 carries, and he's right around that season average of 7.6 per carry. We can see why.
He now has well over 2,000 yards for the season. Travis Spoth is getting ready to kick off for the Tigers.
Again, we need a deep kick here and try to pin them back a little bit, and at least try to make them go the entire length of the field, or about 80 yards of it.
Well, they went 82 on that last drive thanks to a Marshfield defensive penalty. Seen a couple of defensive penalties today on either side. That's helped the opposing offense. Both is ready.
Both will kick off for the Tigers.
Johnson back deep. And here's the kick. It's a squib down the center of the field, picked up by Johnson on another man about the 10-yard line. Across the 30, a flag down behind the play. And that receiver, Matt Hunt, brings the ball out to about the 37-yard line. But part of that run back will come back.
You wonder why you see so many flags all the time in kick situations, and it's just so difficult. There's a block below the waist, and so often you're about to block somebody in front, and he turns, or you slide down and you slip and block somebody below the waist. It's a tough blocking situation.
Now yardage marked off from about the 28-yard line, and the ball going all the way back to about the 15. So it's Homestead football on their own 15-yard line as we start the third quarter at Camp Randall Stadium, with Marshfield trailing Homestead 23-7 in this state championship contest. Demetrius Johnson, the only setback behind the quarterback, Andy Renicky. And on first down, Johnson straight ahead. He's grabbed by several Tigers, gets only about 2 yards off the right side. Pete Turney on that tackle. Ryan Pope, I think, hit him first. A gain of 2 for Johnson.
He hasn't been as effective out of that single back set like that. It's when they go to that full house, and then they've got the misdirection action. It's actually a wing T type play where they fake to the fullback and then give to him off tackle.
And now 2nd and 8 for Homestead at their own 17. Now back in the full house set. Johnson has it off tackle, hit at the 20, and pushed back. Some good penetration by the Tigers that time. Strike and Stenovich and Ryan Niehaus all combined on that stop, shy of the 20-yard line.
Short of the 20-yard line.
And there's some talking going on between the coach and the quarterback, Renicky. at the sideline, and the official saying that's not allowed. So Renicky sent back to the huddle. Ball's on the 19-yard line, and it's 3rd and 6 for Homestead at their own 19. Tigers need to make a stop here. Full house formation. Renicky hands to Johnson again, trying to get outside, cuts back inside, stopped short of the first down marker, back around the 22-yard line, and that'll make it 4th and about 3. Immerfall, Will, and Stroy combine on that tackle.
That time we got better inside pursuit. We had him turned in on the long run, but for the most part he was able to pop outside. There wasn't pursuit there to help out.
So Renicky is punting for Homestead on 4th and 3 from the 25-yard line. Mike Drock back in deep safety for Marshfield inside the Tiger 40. Good snap to Renicky. And the punt is away. It's a good one. Drock runs up at the 44, makes the catch. He's at the 50-yard line, spins inside the 50 and taken down around the Homestead 49. So Marshfield gets some good field position. Tiger football at the Homestead 49. 10 minutes left in the third quarter, and Marshfield trailing Homestead 23-7 in this Division I championship contest. We'll come back with more football in just a moment.
Marshfield and Merrill even at 1, and again between periods 2 and 3. We'll visit with Tim Krause of the Marshfield Softball Association.
Tiger football on the Homestead 49 on first down. Scheuer off tackle, dives down about the 45-yard line, and picks up 4 on that carry.
Scheuer, the ball carrier.
Second down for Marshfield. 2nd and 6 at the Homestead 45-yard line. Tiger offensive line again. Adam Stenovich and Dan Nordine at tackles. Dom Pernsteiner and Travis Foth at guard, and Sean Moulter playing center. I formation, wideouts on both sides. Petrie turns, gives to Scheuer. Looking off tackle, has a hole, but tripped up going through the line. He'll get only 1. Linebacker Victor Mexstroff comes in, makes that hit on Scheuer at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, you know, Gene, we have that play blocked at the point of attack, and there is a hole there, but we're getting pulled down from behind on that counter. That's twice now.
Tyson Vittrick coming into play quarterback. Eric Moulter joins him as a flanker. 3rd and 5 Tigers at the Homestead 44. Franzine and Moulter a slot to the near side. Kyle Davis tight end far side. Coran and Scheuer in the eye. Vittrick drops back to pass. With time, throws near side, incomplete. Low throw, Moulter dove but couldn't grab it. It's incomplete, and it's 4th and 5 for Marshfield.
Incomplete, covered by shots.
And Jason Beekler will come on to punt the ball away.
We haven't been in this situation where we've had to pass. We've been able to choose our points to pass throughout the season. A little different situation today.
Demetrius Johnson back in single safety at the 15. It's a fake, and here comes Matt Gorman around the far side. Looking for a hole, cuts back to the inside, and may have the first down. Gorman carries just inside the 39 to near the 38. That's about where he had to go for the first down. I believe we may have a measurement. No hole.
Oh, they got it by about half a yard. Ooh, what a gutsy call at this point. I guess when your offense isn't moving the ball, and you certainly don't want to give it back to this explosive running back, Demetrius Johnson, you pull out all the stops. Matt
Gorman on that run on the fake punt. He was the short man, got the snap, and ran around end to get the first down at the Homestead 39 with 8.5 remaining in the third quarter, and the Tigers trailing 23-7. Coran and Scheuer in the eye, wide receivers on both sides. Petrie turns, fakes the handoff, rolls towards the near side, now stops and throws down the sideline. A diving attempt by Davis, but he can't get there, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, he had him open. It was just a matter of just not getting the pass to him. He had about 3 steps on the defender.
So a second down play coming up for Marshfield. It's 2nd and 10 Tigers, just inside the Homestead 39-yard line. Tigers victimized by 3 turnovers in the first half of today's contest. 3 pass interceptions, 2 of which set up Homestead touchdowns. Zaleski and Beekler, the wide receivers, with Coran and Scheuer split behind Vittrick on 2nd and 10. Vittrick turns. Here's the counter play to Scheuer. Looking for a hole. Cuts outside of the 35 down to the 33-yard line. And Scheuer picks up 6 with that run.
35-yard line.
6 yards for Scheuer, who has the only Tiger touchdown today on a 40-yard run.
57 yards now for Aaron and 11 carries.
3rd and 5.
And now the Tigers face with 3rd and 4 at the Homestead 33. Franzine and Molterer both go wide to the far side. Coran and Scheuer in the eye behind Petrie. Davis, tight end on the near side. Petrie wants to pass, lobs it far side, too high for Molterer. The pass is incomplete. Eric was there on a quick look in, but Petrie threw the ball too high. Tigers likely in 4-down territory here. They're faced with 4th and 4 at the Homestead 33-yard line. And Tyson Bittrick will come in the ball game, and the Tigers will go for it. Not much choice at this stage of the contest. Beekler and Zaleski to the near side with Coran and Scheuer in the eye behind Bittrick. 4-down lineman for Homestead. They're stunting. Bittrick drops back to pass. With time, throws near side. The catch is made. It's a first down. Catch made along the sideline by Beekler at the 25-yard line. Pass play gains 8 as a Tiger first down. 1st and 10 for Marshfield at the Homestead 25. The Tigers convert on 4th and 4. We have 7:33 remaining in the third quarter.
Excellent line play on that last pass. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Good protection up front.
Tigers trailing 23-7. Marshfield in the eye. Here's the handoff. Scheuer getting outside of Coran's block. Turns the corner. It only gets about 1 yard. Cut down around the 24-yard line. Short yardage for Aaron Scheuer. 2nd and 9 for Marshfield at the Homestead 24. Tigers looking for a score right here that would get them back in the contest. They trail by 16. Still lots of time remaining. 7 minutes to play in the third period. Beekler to the near side. Zaleski flanker on the far side. Coran and Scheuer in the eye set behind Bittrick. Tyson to pass the football, rolls near side, may keep the ball, tries to get outside, turns the corner and gets dumped back to the 25-yard line. He'll lose 1. That was a design play, and linebacker Nate Colby read it all the way, knew what Bittrick wanted to do, and would not let him get outside.
They also got good defensive support from their cornerback on that side.
Now the Tigers back in 3rd and long. 3rd and 10 for Marshfield at the Homestead 25. Jason Petrie back in the ball game. We presume that Jason will put the ball in the air here. Franzine and Molterer, a slot to the near side with Coran and Scheuer in the eye. Davis, tight end on the far side. Petrie back to pass the ball. With time, pump fakes. Now the protection breaks down. He breaks away. Heads for the far sideline. Tosses to Davis at the 25-yard line. And Kyle spins down to about the 22. Picks up 3 yards on the play. Kyle Davis, the tight end, making himself available on that scramble play. But the Tigers only gained 3, and now looking at 4th and 7 at the Homestead 22. And again, the Tigers have to convert a 4th down situation. Tyson Bittrick comes back in the ball game to play quarterback here. And here's another big play for Marshfield. They did convert on 4th down moments ago. Now they have to do it again. Beekler and Zaleski, the wide receivers. Coran and Scheuer split behind Bittrick. Davis is the tight end on the near side. Bittrick looking to pass the football. With time. Now he steps up and throws a wide open receiver, and Zaleski drops the ball.
Just dropped the ball. That's all there was to it.
Zaleski wide open at the 10-yard line on a slant, and he just dropped the ball. And that gives the ball back to Homestead. A 12-play Tiger drive stalls out. It's Homestead football on their own 22-yard line.
We have another immediate timeout here, Gene.
Timeout with 5:07 remaining in the third quarter, and Marshfield trailing 23-7. We'll come back in just a moment.
Our score after 2 periods of hockey. The Marshfield Tigers won, and the Merrill Blue Jays won. We'll return in just a moment and visit with Tim Krause of the Marshfield Softball Association. First.
Now Homestead gets the ball back, still up by 16, now with 5:07 remaining in the third quarter in this Division I state championship contest. First and 10, Homestead on their own 22. Demetrius Johnson gets the call out to about the 25-yard line. And stopped there by Strike and Ben Will.
25-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty good scoring chance for the Marshfield Tigers, but they could not convert. And instead, after a 12-play drive, they give the ball up to Homestead once again. 2nd and 7 for the Highlanders at their own 25-yard line. Homestead out in a full house backfield. 2 tight ends, and Renicky hands to Werner Powell, straight ahead out to the 35-yard line to the 37. And a first down for Homestead. 12 yards for the fullback, Jarrett Werner Powell. And a first down for Homestead on their own 37-yard line.
Just an inside trap play, the first part of that series, where the second part comes along. They hand it off to Demetrius Johnson on that little buck sweep or off-tackle sweep around the corner.
Now 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. Marshfield trailing 23-7. Full house set again. Here's the inside handoff to Hintz. John Hintz with a carry. He may have lost the ball around the 41-yard line, but it looks like he got it back anyway. And it will be Homestead ball right there and a gain of 4 for Hintz. 2nd and 6 now for Homestead at their own 41-yard line. Tiger crowd certainly subdued in this situation. Marshfield has not been in this position this year, trailing late in the third quarter. Full house set once again. And here's the handoff to Werner Powell, straight ahead out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Again, Dale, the Tigers playing their defensive ends awfully wide to avoid Johnson going outside, and that perhaps opens up some holes between the tackles.
Yeah, those guards instead of the center for Homestead doing a nice job inside on those traps.
Third and 1 for Homestead at their 47-yard line. Andy Renicky leads up the Homestead Ball Club, 2 tight ends and a full house set. Hand off again to Johnson, but this time he stopped behind the line. Tigers get good penetration that time. Pete Turney is there. Matt Immerfall also there. And as is often the case, Adam Stroik. And Johnson stopped back at the 46. He loses a yard on that carry. And that puts Homestead in a punting situation. 4th and 2 for the Highlanders at their own 46. And Renicky punting once again to Mike Druck. Demetrius Johnson, the up man, got to watch him. Snap back to Renicky, and he is punting. And Druck back at the 15-yard line. Straight ahead to the 20, now tries to get outside, but won't get there. He spins down around the 21-yard line. Marshfield football on their own 21 with 2:23 remaining in the third quarter. And the Tigers trail this contest 23-7. Marshfield offense back on the field. Tigers ranked number 1 in the state much of this year, and they need to go back to work again. We have a timeout on the field, so let's pause for these messages.
Across the blue line to the far side.
Tiger football on their own 21 on first down. Jason Petrie looking to pass, now starts to run. Crosses the 25, the 30, the 35-yard line, out to the 40 and 41-yard line. A 20-yard scramble for Jason Petrie.
Well, that's one of the dimensions we've seen from the Tigers all year long. Both of these quarterbacks, excellent runners. And Petrie, seeing that his receivers were covered, pulled it down, and some good steal blocks on the outside got him loose.
So a first down for Marshfield just across their own 40. Tigers trail 23-7 with 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. Duran and Scheuer in the I formation. Vittrick at quarterback. Tyson runs the ball himself, has no place to go. A flag goes down. Tyson hurdles tacklers out to about the 43, but we'll see if that play comes back.
Vittrick keeps the ball.
We have a penalty on the play and a holding call against Marshfield. So that play will come back. Victory gained about 2 on that run, which was more of a hurdle than a run.
Penalty, if accepted, will be 10 yards.
So a 10-yard mark-off against the Tigers. And the ball brought back to the 30-yard line.
Moves the ball back to the 30-yard line.
Fifth penalty against the Tigers for 55 yards in the ball game.
And now 1st and 21 for Marshfield at their own 30. In the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Franzine and Molterer, a slot to the near side. High backfield. Petrie to Curran straight ahead. Mario dives out to the 34-yard line, picks up 4 on that carry.
Curran, the ball carrier.
Only Mario's second carry of the ball game, 5 yards in those 2 carries.
He hasn't run the ball very often today. Of course, the Tigers have not had the ball very much today. They've been behind, and that's necessitated more passing plays today. 2nd and about 16 for the Tigers at their own 34. Beekler and Zaleski to the near side. Curran and Scheuer in the I set. Bittrick at quarterback. Tyson dropping back. Pump fakes, and he throws deep down the near sideline for Beekler, but about 10 yards beyond Jason, incomplete. Big rush by Homestead on that play.
Brings up a third.
Linebacker Ben Huffman, one of the captains on this Homestead team, got through and forced Tyson to adjust his throwing motion that time. He had to try to throw over the top of him.
Well, here's a third down play now for the Tigers, and they really have to convert here. 3rd and 16 for Marshfield. At their own 34, they send 3 receivers wide to the near side. Petrie at quarterback. And Jason dropping back to pass, being rushed, throws to the near side, and there's Molter inside the 50, carries down to the 43-yard line for a first down.
That's a nice pass by Petrie because, again, he had an outside linebacker blitzing and right in his face and saw him coming and knew he had to stand in there and release the ball and threw the ball right on the money.
23 yards on that pass play, a first down for Marshfield at the Homestead 43 in the final minute of the third quarter, and Marshfield trailing 23-7. Tigers again send 3 receivers towards the far side. Curran, the only running back. Bittrick again wants to pass. Lobs across the middle. Zaleski has it just inside the 40. Goes down right there for a short gain. Pat Zaleski on the catch. Right at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 for Marshfield at the Homestead 40. Just 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Again, 3 receivers. Franzine, Molter, and Scheuer along the far side. Petrie again drops back to pass. With time, throws near side, and Kyle Davis makes a diving catch at the 35 to pick up 5 yards on that pass play. 5 for Davis. That sets up a 3rd and 2. That play will end the third quarter here at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Our score is Homestead 23 and the Marshfield Tigers 7. We'll come back with fourth quarter action in just a moment. Lamberson.
138.
As we start fourth quarter action here at Camp Randall Stadium in Marshfield. The Marshfield Tigers trail Homestead 23-7 in this Division I state championship game. Tigers have a 3rd and 2 at the Homestead 40-yard line. High formation, whiteouts on both sides, and Bittrick will hand the ball to Scheuer straight ahead to about the 38 and very close to the first down marker. Scheuer gets 2 on the carry. And we'll see what kind of spot the Tigers get on that play. It is a first down for Marshfield. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They have the football on the Homestead 33-yard line. Early fourth quarter, and Marshfield trailing 23-7 in this Division I championship game. Molter to the near side. John Franzine, flanker on the far side. Curran and Scheuer in the eye behind Petrie.
Jason dropping back to pass with time, throws across the middle. Molterer there at the 20-yard line and carries down to the 18 for another Tiger first down. 15 yards on that pass play. And the Tigers moving the football. They have the ball now inside the Homestead 20-yard line. It'll be a first down for Marshfield at the Homestead 18-yard line. Marshfield back in a double slot with Curran, the only running back behind Bittrick. Tigers need some points hurriedly. Bittrick looking to pass. He stumbles, goes forward on the quarterback draw inside the 15 to the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Tyson Bittrick keeps the ball on that quarterback draw, gets about 10, and a lucky 10 because he stumbled going through the line.
Yeah, he's been having trouble with that footing every time he plants that back foot. He's got to keep his feet a little closer together and play like he's on a muddy field here. I don't know what he's wearing for footwear, but that's been a problem even on a couple of the passes he's thrown today.
Well, he is about a half yard short of the first down. Second and less than 1 for Marshfield, just inside the Homestead 9-yard line. Molterer near side, Franzine wide on the far side. I formation. Petrie fakes the handoff, rolls near side, throws to Curran. He has it at the 5-yard line, near the goal line. He gets in for the touchdown.
Well, you're not going to deny Mario Curran when he gets that close, running over that Homestead defender, and we have ourselves a ball game. We haven't seen many close games here, and the only game we didn't see last night, Gene, was one that turned out to be fairly close, but the Tigers showing some offensive life here in this half.
It's a 10-play, 79-yard scoring drive for the Tigers, who now trail 23-13, and we would presume that Marshfield will go for the 2-point conversion. And that is the call. The Tigers go to a power I. Chris Fisher, Mario Curran, and Aaron Scheuer in the power I with 2 tight ends. Bittrick takes the handoff. Here's Davis on that tight end reverse, looking to get outside. He stumbles, though, and gets tripped up at the 3-yard line. And the 2-point conversion effort is unsuccessful. 10:27 remaining in regulation, and Marshfield trails Homestead 23-13. More football from Madison in just a moment. Time is running out on this Marshfield ball club. Full house tied at 1.
Ends for Homestead. Renicky hands to Johnson, gets outside, down the sideline to midfield, the 45, and Immerfall knocks him down inside the Marshfield 45, but Homestead will have another first down.
Well, he's so good at reading those blocks and picking that hole on the outside, and has the same kind of patience that Aaron Scheuer has, but possibly even quicker.
Now he carries to the 44-yard line.
Just inside the Tigers.
And picks up 16 yards on that run. Another first down for Homestead inside Marshfield territory. And now 7:50 remaining in regulation. And Marshfield down 23-13. Homestead stays in that power or that full house set with 2 tight ends. And Renicky will hand off to Johnson again. Hit behind the line. He'll lose yardage. Good penetration by Adam Stroik. And Johnson goes down back at the 45-yard line. He loses 1.
Yeah, Marshfield having to gamble here a little bit now and send some linebackers, and Stroik coming in behind an offensive lineman to make that play.
2nd and 11 for Homestead.
That's the fear that you have when you have to gamble, and it's, load all the guns and fire them all here and gamble like this, that you're committing a lot of people to the line of scrimmage, and that opens up that big gainer.
2nd and 11 for the Highlanders. At the Marshfield 45 from the full house set once again. Tigers showing blitz here. Long count. Renicky hands to Johnson again. Hit behind the line. Spins forward. Grabbed by Will. Pulled down at the 44-yard line. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but no further. Gains only 1 on that play. And Homestead in a 3rd and 10. At the Marshfield 44, 6.5 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Play we haven't seen him come back with was that little inside trap to Johnson, where they hand it off to him on the left side and he slants back behind the center to the right, and that's what got him in position for their 3rd touchdown.
Well, let's see what they call here. Johnson is in the backfield. 2 flankers and 2 tight ends on 3rd and 10. Renicky hands to Johnson again, gets outside. Immerfall missed him, turns the corner at the 40 to the 35, spins inside to the 33, and very close to another first down. And there's a big run by Demetrius Johnson. It looks like that will give Homestead a first down. And they run for it on 3rd and 10, and it looks like they will convert, although we may have another measurement. Nope, first down.
First down, Highlanders.
11 yards for Johnson. A first down for Homestead at the Marshfield 33.
Quite a day for Johnson, 176 yards.
And we're now halfway through the 4th quarter with Marshfield trailing Homestead 23-13 in this Division I state championship game. Tigers, 5 down linemen in their stances. Full house formation. Straight ahead, Jarrett Werner Powell again. Run into by Pete Turney inside the 30 and collared around the 28-yard line. Now that first down run by Johnson on 3rd and 10, that was quite a big play. And the Tigers' hopes of winning another state championship beginning to fade as that clock continues to roll down. 5:15 remaining in regulation. The Tigers trail by 10. And coming up is the 10th play in this drive for Homestead. They have a 2nd and 5 at the Marshfield 28. And once again in a full house set, here's Johnson, slices down to about the 25-yard line. Covered there by Adam Strike. One other man on that tackle as well. That was Bobby Poole at the 24-yard line. 4 more yards for Johnson on that play. And it's 3rd and less than 1 for Homestead at the Marshfield 24. Homestead changing some personnel. Bringing in an extra lineman, replacing a running back with a lineman. And we'll see if the Highlanders load up here on that line of scrimmage. They put a lineman in the backfield, full house set. Renicky straight ahead, bumps heads with Pohl, and I'm not sure he got there. Bobby Pohl got great penetration and hit Renicky going through the line, and he didn't go very far. He's marked down just inside the 25. And no measurement, it'll be 4th down. Big play by Bobby Pohl. It's 4th and less than 1 for Homestead, just inside the Tiger 25-yard line, with less than 4 minutes left in regulation. And the crowd on both sides on their feet. Renicky on the sidelines getting his play, and now Homestead will take a timeout. Timeout Homestead, their first of the second half. 3:43 remaining in regulation, and Homestead on top, 23-13. Will return to Camp Randall Stadium right after this.
Pass by Larson. Josh back.
Well, here's another big play for the Tiger defense. Homestead has 4th and less than 1. Just inside the Marshfield 25-yard line. This is the 12th play in this drive for Homestead. They've used up close to 7 minutes of time on that clock after Marshfield scored their second touchdown of the day. Highlanders come to the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield once again. One of those offensive backs is a big lineman, Andrew Scott. A 5'10", 233 lineman who's in the backfield. Renicky turns, gives to Johnson, and he'll have the first down at the 21-yard line, covered there by Matt Immerfall. So Homestead converts. The Highlanders have the football at the Marshfield 21. 3:38 remaining in regulation, and Homestead leading Marshfield 23-13. And the hopes of the Marshfield Tigers and their fans starting to wane here at Camp Randall Stadium. The Highlanders stay in that full house formation. Renicky at quarterback. taking his time. He will turn. He gives to Werner Powell, and he's hit by Stanovich behind the line. Rolls forward to the 20-yard line.
Well, you have to be impressed, Gene, with the way this Mequon Homestead team came in here and just executed today, and no major mistakes, a couple penalties that hurt them in the game, but other than that, no offensive mistakes and doing anything to give Marshfield an advantage.
Marshfield now has taken a timeout with 3:11 remaining in regulation, and the Tigers trailing 23-13, so let's pause for this message. Understand that just under 6,400 fans in attendance to watch today's Division I contest between the Marshfield Tigers and Homestead High School. So this ball game viewed by many fans. They had over 33,000 here this week for the 6 state championship contests. Homestead football just inside the Tiger 20-yard line, second and about 9. Johnson gets the call straight ahead, spins away from a tackler, but doesn't go very far. He was hit in the backfield by a Tiger tackler, got away, and only gained about 2 yards. And again, the Tigers step in and use a timeout, their second timeout of the second half. Now 3:03 remaining in regulation, and Marshfield still trailing 23-13 back to Camp Randall Stadium right after this. Once again, the Marshfield Tigers in position where they have to make a stop here. It will be third and about 7 for Homestead at the Tiger 18-yard line, and this will be the 15th play in this drive. .303 remaining. Homestead to the line of scrimmage. Full house formation once again. Renicky hands off to Johnson. Not much running room this time. Will and Stroy combine on the hit at the 17-yard line. Again, the Tigers will take a timeout, and this is Marshfield's final timeout. Now with 2:55 remaining in regulation, and Marshfield trailing 23-13 back to Camp Randall Stadium following this message.
4th and 6 coming up on play.
And that will...
Well, we'll see what Homestead does here on a 4th down play. They're faced with 4th and about 7 at the Marshfield 17-yard line. Again, Renicky kicked a field goal earlier in this ball game, his 10th of the year, and he certainly is capable if they choose that route. It looks like the Highlanders will go for it. 4th and 7 for Homestead at the Marshfield 17, full house backfield. Renicky hands off to Johnson, straight ahead. He cut down around the 11-yard line. He's close to another first down. And if he does convert to get that first down, that would about wrap up this game for Homestead. See where they put him down. We may have a measurement. Ball is at the 11. Had to get to the 11 for a first down.
Really impressed by this young man's change of direction, his ability to just to shift from left and right. Very quick feet.
Big-time running back, 5'11", 172. He should play somewhere next year. An all-important chain stretch here. And the Tigers have held. Marshfield gets the ball back. However, the Tigers are out of timeouts, and we have just 2:49 remaining in regulation. Marshfield trailing 23-13. Well, Homestead used up almost 8 minutes of clock time on that drive. And now Marshfield comes out with less than 3 minutes to play, and they're down by 10. Tiger football on their own 11-yard line. And Marshfield also out of timeouts. Although it appears we may have a timeout on the field. We have a penalty against Homestead.
Indicated infraction,
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Homestead. And the ball's coming out to the 26-yard line. So a break for the Tigers. Marshfield football on their own 26. Tigers trail 23-13 with 2:49 remaining in regulation. Double slot formation for the Tigers. Bittrick drops back to pass the ball. Running towards the near side now. He'll keep it to the 25, the 30, the 35-yard line, to the 40, the 41. Tripped up there. And Bittrick gains 15 yards on that run. Another Tiger first down. So the clock stopped as the chains are moved. 2:40 remaining in regulation.
Got to use those out-of-bounds lines effectively here now on this drive.
Tigers trailing by 10. Again, they're in a double slot. Petrie at quarterback. Jason looks down the field to pass the ball, fires near side, and John Franzine as the ball go off his fingertips, incomplete. John had to reach back to try to grab that and couldn't do so. Incomplete pass. Second and 10 for Marshfield at their own 41-yard line with 2:34 remaining. Tigers trailing by 10. Again, they use that double slot. Scheuer and Franzine near side. Mulcher and Zaleski on the far side. Bittrick at quarterback. Tyson gets the snap, retreats to pass the ball. Now throws deep across the middle for Scheuer. Too far, incomplete. Incomplete pass. Scheuer doing a deep post pattern, and Bittrick led him too far.
Scheuer pointing to the defender, feeling that the defender fell on his legs as he was going for the ball, but I think a good no call by the officials.
Aaron was diving to get to the football, but it was still thrown about 5 yards further down the field, and the contact came well after the ball went past Aaron. Well, the Tigers have to convert at least the first down here. They're faced with 3rd and 10 at their own 41-yard line. And again, they'll use a double slot set. Jason Petrie at quarterback. He drops back to throw again. Steps up, fires across the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Franzine on the slant across the middle. And John couldn't get there. So it basically boils down to this play right here for the Marshfield Tigers. They have a 4th and 10 at their own 41-yard line. 2:25 remaining in regulation. And the Tigers trailing by 10, and they must convert here to keep any hopes alive of a state championship. Double slot formation for Marshfield. Coran, the only running back behind Bittrick. And Tyson back to pass, but we have a flag. And I think Pat Zaleski moved the count early from his slot back position along the far side of the field. Tigers will be penalized here for illegal procedure. So the ball brought back to the 36-yard line. It will be 4th and 15.
Still 4th down. The ball is now on the 36-yard line. And the Tigers have 15 yards to go for a first down.
4th and 15 Tigers at their own 36. Marshfield must convert here. Again, a double slot set. Petrie back to pass. With time, throws deep across the middle for Zaleski. A diving attempt. He can't get there. And Homestead takes over on downs. And that should just about end any hopes of another state championship for the Marshfield Tiger football team. Homestead gets the ball back at the Marshfield 36-yard line. Homestead leading 23-13. With 2:18 remaining. And the Tigers are out of timeouts. And it looks like this Homestead Ball Club, which is undefeated this year, will be a state champion for 1999. Tigers rushing Nate Lehman into the ball game. Full house set for Homestead. And Renicky rolling out on the far side. Niehaus in pursuit. Ryan grabs him, drags him down back at the 39-yard line. It's a loss of 3. Renicky loses 3. It's 2nd and 13, but that clock is moving. And we now have 2 minutes left in regulation.
Well, Gene, the inability to Marshfield to run the ball in the first half and 3 turnovers are a very key factor in this game. And, of course, that huge drive by Mequon Homestead, a 15-play drive here in the fourth quarter to really chew up an awful lot of time when Marshfield had shown some life offensively.
Even though Homestead did not score on that drive, that was certainly a key factor.
Sure was.
2nd and 13, Homestead at the Tiger 39. Handoff to Werner Powell, looking for a hole. Not much there. He'll squirm forward to about the 36 and taken down there. That clock continues to run down. We now have a minute and 20 remaining in regulation. Tigers trail by 10. The Tigers' first loss of the year. Also, by the way, the first time that Marshfield has ever lost a playoff game to a team other than D.C. Everest. It will be 3rd and 10 for Homestead at the Tiger 36 with 60 seconds to play. Full house formation. And Renicky rolling to the near side on the keeper. Immerfall in pursuit, grabs him, drags him down at the 36. No gain for Renicky on that play.
Homestead not taking any chance either of any kind of an exchange other than the center quarterback exchange, and just putting the ball in the hands of their quarterback as that clock just clicks away.
35 seconds left, 4th and 10 Homestead at the Marshfield 36. And that clock just winding down. The Homestead fans on their feet, standing and cheering. Looks like the state championship coming for the Homestead Highlanders and Coach Dave Keel. They're just watching that clock down to 14 seconds, and they'll certainly take the delay of game call. At 9 seconds, the clock is stopped, and Homestead takes a timeout. Homestead's second timeout with 9 seconds remaining in regulation, and Homestead leading 23-13 back to Camp Randall Stadium right after this.
Immerfall near side, winds up. He winds up again.
Lots of dejected Marshfield fans and Marshfield players along the near sideline as Homestead just 9 seconds away from winning their first ever state football championship.
Well, it's going to hurt a lot today and for the next day or two, but these Marshfield Tigers have given us a lot of things to be proud of and excited about throughout this season.
They'll snap the ball one more time, then give the ball over to Marshfield for one final play. Renicky rolling to the far sideline. He'll keep the ball himself, looks down the field, now stops and gets smothered back at the 41-yard line with just 2 seconds remaining. And Marshfield will run its offense onto the field for one play. Tigers have 2 seconds remaining, trailing by 10. And the Homestead Highlanders begin to celebrate their Division I state championship.
Well, and they deserve it, Gene. You have to be honest about it. They played very well today. A fine running back in this Demetrius Johnson. I have him unofficially for 193 yards and 31 carries. And we knew he was a premier back coming in, and he showed it in the big dance today. Big player in a big game.
And they've had some other players really step forward as well.
And no turnovers in the ballgame, a big factor.
And the Tigers suffered 3. Marshfield getting some players on the field. They have one play to run. Pat Vanderboom coming into play at the fullback spot. And now leaving the field. He thought he was needed. He is not. Flags go down. The Tigers are taking too much time as they were confused as to who should be on the field. I'm not sure they expected to have their offense out there for one final play. So the ball is placed back at the 35-yard line. And the Tigers will again run one more. Here comes Kyle Davis, Tyson Bittrick at quarterback. Molterer, Scheuer, and Franzine all wide to the near side. Coran, the only running back. And Bittrick fakes the handoff, back to pass, with time, now throws across the middle, and nobody there. The ball's incomplete, and that's it, and Homestead High School wins the Division I State Football Championship for 1999. Our final score today, Homestead 23 and the Marshfield Tigers 13. We will have a full recap on our post-game reports coming up next.